Does a business need to hire an attorney to go to court? My name is Andrew Ayers. I'm a business law and estate planning attorney with offices in Edina, Minnesota and New York City. And today we're going to talk about a common question that businesses have when they find that they need to go to court. So as a general rule, a business needs to have an attorney if they want to be able to go to court. Whether that's bringing their own lawsuit or defending against a lawsuit filed by somebody else. Although a business is treated as a person under law, it's a separate entity, it usually has to have an attorney to represent it. Now, this is a pretty common question I get when I'm in court and I see a party on the other side, usually a small business, that doesn't have an attorney. And what you'll see is that the owner of the business will show up and they will say to the judge, "Your Honor, I'm here, I own this business, I'm ready to go forward with this case." And the first question from the judge will normally be, what kind of business is this? Are you an incorporated business, or is this a sole proprietorship? And when it's an incorporated business, whether an LLC or some other kind of corporation, if it's been an incorporated business, the judge will usually stop the proceedings right there and say, we're going to stop right here. This business needs to have an attorney to represent it for this matter to go forward. And they'll usually give them an adjournment of 30 days or 15 days or whatever period the court finds to be reasonable. But the fact of the matter is the court's going to require that an attorney represent that business before the court when you're involved in a lawsuit. There are actually two exceptions where you can see the court allow a company to be represented not by an attorney in court. The first one is if the company is a sole proprietorship. So as I said, that's usually the first question from the judge is, what kind of company is this? So if you haven't actually incorporated your business, you're just using your side hustle, it's really all under your name, there's no separate taxes, there's no separate filings, then in that case, the judge may let you proceed to represent the company in court because really the company is not a separate entity from you. It's all tied to you. And what you've lost by going that way is you've lost that liability protection. So that company's assets are now consider your personal assets are part of the company's assets for that lawsuit. And if you're defending a lawsuit and you've been sued, your personal house and your personal assets could be on the line. The second exception to the rule is where the owner of the company or another executive is actually a licensed attorney in the court where the lawsuit is based. So if you're an attorney who runs a company and you're licensed in the court where the company's been sued or where you need to bring the suit, then yes, you can represent the company. And for most companies, the hard thing here is that hiring an attorney is a very expensive experience. So they've seen things on TV. They say, oh my gosh, this is going to be really expensive for us to hire an attorney. Can we just find a way to go it alone? And unfortunately, the simple answer is unless you're falling into one of those exceptions, then you're not going to be able to represent the company. You're going to need to hire an attorney. And oftentimes, hiring the attorney is the best step forward for you because they can also go through the lawsuit if you're defending it or help you prepare it if you're the one filing it to make sure that you're asking for the right relief or you know how to defend that lawsuit. Although it may seem expensive, especially when you have kind of smaller lawsuits, like let's say under $100,000, there are attorneys who can work with you to make sure we can streamline that process and get you the best results possible for your company. Now, there is another situation where an owner can actually represent themselves, and this is not the situation you want to be in, but that is where somebody has sued your company and has also sued you personally. So when you're incorporating your company, let's say you've created an LLC for your rental property, you want any lawsuits about that property to be against the LLC, not against you personally. However, most attorneys, if they can identify the ownership for the company and can find a way to what's called pierce the corporate veil, which is find a way to get personal liability on the owners of that company, they will also name an individual in the caption. So if you have been named in the caption as well as your business, you could represent yourself to the extent of you individually in the caption, but unless you fall into one of those exceptions, you can't represent the business as well. This may also come up if your business has had you sign a personal guarantee. So let's say it was your very first storefront that you signed, and that commercial lease had your company signing the lease, but also you and your partner signing a personal guarantee. And then if you've defaulted on the rent and the landlord wants to be paid, well, they're going to use that personal guarantee to add you individually to the lawsuit as well. And so in that situation, you would be able to defend yourself as far as your personal assets go, but the company would still need to have a corporate attorney. Although it seems like a rather straightforward answer, hopefully you can see why it's important to consult with an attorney if your company has either been sued or needs to sue somebody. That attorney is going to be very important to help you move things forward in a proper manner, and in many courts, the attorney is going to be required for you to be able to participate. So if you're not sure what to do next and you want to look at some next steps, you can go to my website, andrewmayers.com. There's a red legal strategy session button on the front page. If you click that, you'll be taken to my personal calendar, where we can set up a 15 or 20-minute phone call to go over your next steps and some best options for you and your business as you face this lawsuit. And if you found this video to be insightful, hit the like button below. If you want to see more videos like this, be sure to subscribe to the channel. We try to add new content every week, and I hope to see you in our next video.